Good morning and good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Before Coffee. It's Good Tuesday News Day, the day where we cover all the positive, good, heartwarming news we can find. Sometimes bad stuff happens, but you're able to turn a page over to a new dawn, a new day, and that's what we're trying to show you in the world. This is the first and only international game show Before Coffee, a father and daughter podcast where we just got coffee in our bodies. We looked at our stories 10 to 15 minutes before we started, and we're learning how to read live on stream. Let's roll that segue wheel and get into today's headlines. Today on Good Tuesday News Day. Iron air batteries powered by rust could revolutionize energy storage by using only iron, water, and air. And boy thrown from Tate Modern can now run, jump, and swim.
And good morning and good news. A detector has hits the mother lode in Wales.
More good news. Europe's rights court clears Norway of climate misconduct over Arctic oil license. What did Norway get into this time?
And a big boat is being sunk and you can watch, plus a great new camera based on an old camera, and the dude abides.
In my culture news, Lost and Found, Picasso painting discovered in Madrid after exhibition transfer confusion, and Virtuoso Victory, American pianist Eric Liu triumphs at Poland's International Chopin competition.
And it's National Chocolate Day, and I don't have any chocolate, so I'm just going to do without because I'm just non-conformist. It's October 28th, 2025 on Before Coffee. Sorry.
I just noticed that you're floating. Whoopsie.
Cool, that's what I feel
floating
like too.
Dad. Now setting your camera angle. I didn't perfectly put you in the right spot. There you go. You're not floating anymore. Let me make sure I'm not floating. Okay, good. Right. If you have chocolate or you don't have some, go get some. I always break out when I eat too much chocolate. Not that that's why I'm breaking out now. I don't know why I'm broken out now. Just, I don't know.
No.
Bad hormones. That's why I like to. Usually, most female acne is caused by hormone imbalances and stuff. So it's probably that.
I think all acne is caused by that. I don't know.
Well, some of it is clean your face, but I clean my face every day, so I know it's not that.
Some of it's anxiety. I'm not a doctor, so I only cosplay one at local emergency rooms. Anywho, have you heard you've heard the non-conformist oath, right? It's Steve Martin bit. He goes, let's repeat the non-conformist oath. I promise to be different. And the crowd goes, I promise to be different. And he goes, I promise to be unique. And they go, I promise to be unique. I promise not to repeat other things other people say.
Yeah, it's actually used as a sample in a song. I can't remember what song, but I remember it's used as a sample in a song.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, Steve Martin. I mean, he worked 20 years in that one act, so... He hit it big.
Okay,
let's roll. He hit it big in any clip.
That's true. Let's roll our segue wheel for our first story here, which is rolling the wheel. You've got to remind me of a song, or I guess I have to remind you of a song. I have to remind you of a song.
Yeah.
My first stories.
You already
I have
did.
2 of them, and the first one is about batteries. Yeah. Some good science news here. We've discovered a way to do batteries that doesn't require lithium. It doesn't require alkaline solutions. It relies on iron, water, and air. This is from Good News Network from Andy Corbally. Most likely, I didn't read who it was. No, it's just from Good News Network. The entire website is covering this story. Batteries are everywhere. In your phone, your car, even the artificial organs many depend on for life. Fortunately, new innovations have increased the efficiency and sustainability of our ubiquitous batteries. One of the most novel innovations unveiled recently is the iron air battery system, which uses rust to produce energy in a sustainable way. The iron air system from Form Energy is built from safe, low-cost, abundant materials, iron and water, and uses no heavy or rare earth metals. Thank you for your daily check-in, Desi. I hope you're having a good Tuesday. The company touts that approximately 80% of its components are sourced domestically from within the United States. This reminds me a lot of what we talked about maybe last Tuesday, the Japanese nuclear system, right? That's using air, the water. It's like in a closed water system where it heats the water, and then that osmosis. It uses osmosis. That's what it was. They're using osmosis in Japan to create energy, and instead here they're using rust. So metals that create rust, and they use that to make energy. As air passes through the cathode, the negatively charged portion of the battery, and reacts with the liquid, a water-based electrolyte, which means it has salt in it, ions subsequently latch onto the positively charged iron anode. So you gotta think magnets, okay? The battery is charged negatively, so it's a minus. The iron is charged positively, a plus, and doing that, it creates rust. I don't know how more simply I can describe that. The movement ions through the rust, so these positive negative ions attaching to the iron or leaving the water, going between the cathode and the iron is what's causing electricity. Okay? So that transference of energy creates electricity. A process that can be repeated by continually unrusting the battery after each reaction. From Energy co-founder and chief scientist Yet Ming-Shang notes that the economic viability of the iron air batteries for large-scale usage is still free, and iron is one of the most widely produced, lowest-cost materials in the world, for now. In Minnesota, a 1.5 megawatt pilot project was shown to be able to power 400 homes for 100 hours. So so I think a single battery that does or maybe not a single battery. They probably had a bunch of batteries that provide 1.5 megawatt of energy, and they were able to power 400 homes for 100 hours. So what is that? 400,000 energy. 4,100 energy. There you go. It also successfully completed UL 9540A safety testing. That's probably something some person who does paperwork understands. Demonstrating the highest safety standards with no fire or thermal threats across all scenarios. So it won't catch on fire. Okay. It won't overheat and then cause a fire somewhere else.
Right. Mm-hmm.
It's very safe.
Right.
It's not like if you get water in your phone battery, it's gonna start heating up and catching on fire. Besides iron air batteries, solid state batteries are what George Crabtree, director of Joint Center for Energy Research, believes to be very likely the next big thing at the commercial level. Solid-state batteries use electrolytes like argyrodite, garnet, and perovskite that are more efficient than liquid electrolytes in nearly all aspects. They're lighter, take up less space, and can hold more energy per unit of mass. These qualities make them effective for electrical vehicles and grid-scale energy storage. So instead... Oh, okay, I see what they're saying. They're saying that these stones carry more energy. So when you put electrolytes in water, like a salt, right? If you make those electrolytes out of these, like argyrodite, garnet, or perovskite, if you make your electrolytes out of that, there will be more energy stored. So when it's transferred, there's just more. It's just more. There's more energy stored in the electrolytes than other salts. They're lighter, take up less space, and can hold more energy per unit of mass. These qualities make them effective for electrical vehicles and grid-scale energy storage, since if you need more energy, you can have more. However, researchers like University of Houston professor Yan Yao, who recently developed a glass-like electrolyte, are still looking for materials that fulfill all 4 factors of viability in the market: low cost, easy to build, having a high degree of mechanical stability, and chemical stability. With lithium-based batteries being so ubiquitous, some scientists are looking to improve on the existing model, rather than supplanting it entirely. Batteries made out of lithium sulfur, for example, exhibit 4 times greater energy density than traditional lithium batteries due to the usage of light and active materials. And also, they smell bad.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, innovations in batteries are a cornerstone to shaping a more sustainable future, making renewable energy more reliable and energy grids more stable. Instead of having live energy all the time, we can just store it away and then turn it on when we need it. And that's why we need batteries. So there's my short story about new batteries.
Yes, and the story, the song it reminds me of is, well, actually it reminded me of the name of an album by Neil Young, which is called Rust Never Sleeps. But he does have a lyric, but he changed the lyric, and it's true. Rust never sleeps. Just Neil Young being profound, right? He did change the lyrics to "Hey Hey My My." It was a live album with Neil Young and Crazy Horse, and the verse goes: "The king is gone, but he's not forgotten. This is the story of Johnny Rotten. It's better to burn out, 'cause rust never sleeps. The king is gone, but it's not forgotten." Of course, that's the change of the original lyric, which was, "It's better to burn out than it is to rust." Either one, they both feature rust in the lyrics.
He changed his perspective in the live version, basically. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and this is
no.
We're trying to harness the power of iron turning to iron oxide. Is what we're doing. Yeah.
Exactly. And then you undo it, and then you start it again over and over in a cycle. I think until probably the iron is gone, just completely gone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you drop some iron in seawater for a year, you'll come back to a big orange spot.
Yeah, it just returns back to the earth.
Right.
My next story is some sad news that has a happy result. Yes, this is from Birani Gooch on The Independent. The family of a young boy who survived being thrown from the 10th floor of London's Tate Modern Art Gallery has said he's been able to achieve his goal of being able to run, jump, and swim again. The French boy was 6 years old when he was thrown from a balcony by a then 17-year-old jaunty bravery. The boy was on a holiday with his family in 2019 when he was attacked and survived a 30-meter fall with his life-changing injuries, including a bleed to the brain, fractures to his spine, and broken arms and legs. Lucky to survive. His family gave out an update on the GoFundMe page, which presently has £487,954 raised to give the body medical care and rehabilitation. They confirmed he was able to progress with his running, jumping, and swimming before his next operation. Our little knight has long set himself the goal of being able to run, jump, and swim again. He can't do it like the other children his age, of course, but we can no longer describe what he does in any other way than by saying it's running, jumping, and swimming, the family said in a statement. It's different, only over a few meters for a very small height, but it's an incredible achievement. We are happy that he has been able to reach this stage of progress before his next operation. Indeed, he will have to be immobilized again for nearly 2 months in early 2026. This is an essential step for him to progress further and reduce his pain, but we know it will be a difficult milestone to overcome. Our son is apprehensive about his operation, but the surgeon is relying on all progress that has been made so far to reassure him of the future benefits and how much he will be able to do even better afterwards. The boy's memory skills are still limited, and the family added, but they are functional and still improving, because he did have a brain bleed, so he probably had some brain damage, meaning he will acquire general knowledge at his own pace. He's also maturing, thanks to work with psychomotor therapists, allowing him to relax. Today, our preteen, we have to face facts, he's not a little boy anymore, has understood that he needs to give himself breaks. We need to remind him less. He also found a place in the local middle school, Although he's only able to attend half the classes as he has to do 10 rehabilitation sessions per week, which means the family are looking to move to find a new school to accommodate. Autistic teenager Bravery was in supported accommodation at the time of the attack, but allowed out unsupervised. See, that's what I'm saying. I don't say it's not completely his fault that he threw a child off of a building, but also he was supposed to be supervised, and where were his supervisors? He was in supported accommodation, which means they knew that he needed to be supervised, and then he wasn't, so... Sadly, he was sentenced and served at least 15 years in prison for attempted murder and may never be freed. Mrs. Justice McGowan said, as she sentenced him in June 2020, "You had intended to kill someone that day. You almost killed a 6-year-old boy. You will spend the greater part, if not all of your life, detained. You may never be released." So, that's the result of that. But luckily, the boy has been able to live a very, I don't want to say a comfortable life, but he's not given up, and he's living, and that's what's important. Even if you get tossed off a building at 30 meters, don't let the world get you down. You can still win, especially with all the medical. We cover this every Tuesday, right? All the medical progress we've made and all sorts of things. It's not a death sentence if you break all of your limbs.
Yeah. Yes, definitely surviving that. Again, things fall at the same rate, no matter how much they weigh.
Yes,
right?
the gravity is always the same, but there is a thing called.
However, the impact is going to be less for somebody that weighs less. It's more of the impact, not the speed.
Yeah.
It's like the first 99 feet of that fall were a breeze, right? The last foot was terrible.
And a 6-year-old boy is not really going to know how to, tuck and roll or whatever. So,
of course,
he
the
probably
Joker
landed
reminds
just
me
straight on his back.
Right. Learning to fly is a joke. The song reminds me, but it's not a joke. All these songs that are called "Learning to Fly" are actually metaphors.
Pause your joke. We're getting rated right now on Twitch.
By who? What does
Hold
that mean?
thought. Hello. Thank you for rating. Welcome, Raiders. You were last playing Silent Hill. Well, we're talking about news. We're not playing Silent Hill, but thank you for rating, and I hope you had a good stream. Don't forget to take some time for yourself, drink water, and stretch those legs, and look out the window for 15 minutes. That's very important after looking at your computer for who knows how long. Look out the window. So thank you for rating. Oh, it's Zach. It's Salty. It's Salty. Hey, Salty. I haven't seen you in a while. Thank you for rating, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Continue with your thing you wanted to say about learning to fly.
Learning to fly is a song. It's a metaphor, so I don't think I'm making a joke, which I accidentally said joke. It's a metaphor. It's like you got to walk, crawl, whatever it is, and you just got to get back on your feet. And, the various versions of the same. There's Pink Floyd called Learning to Fly. By Teddy and the Heartbreakers called Learning to Fly. There's a song by Foo Fighters called Learn to Fly. So they're basically the same thing. They're not about... Tom Petty's deal was getting off drugs. He was learning to fly without drugs, right? Anyway, that was your little metaphor.
But it's also about, but you could also take it as a metaphor of learning to, do something you thought wasn't possible, right?
You could also take it literally as a joke. So, because somebody tried to see if he could fly. So, there you go.
Yeah.
And my thing,
I wish there was more details here about the actual thing, but it sounds like, I guess they just found him utterly and totally guilty, and there was no story behind it, so.
What I'm saying is that this kid decided that the 10-year-old could fly. Let's see if he can fly. That was my thing before the show. Anyway, the punishment.
Maybe a 6-year-old can fly. They're lighter. Maybe they have more hollow bones. Obviously.
Right. So I'm just saying he probably just needs a higher height to take off from, right? Because you need time to get your wings spread. Shit, it doesn't always happen, right? You need a big takeoff too. I think a catapult's an ideal way to start him on his way. But That's just my idea. Let's do a spin.
Yes,
I got a
let's
story
spin our
to read.
segue wheel and see
Trevally.
what you have to think while I go get my clothes out of the dryer. Bad
All right,
pun. All
one of
right,
my
you think of a
favorite-
bad pun.
Have you ever watched that show, The Detectorist, before you leave? It's pretty good.
No, I
it's
haven't.
Actually, it's kind of a, these are real people that do shit like this. They go all over the British Isles with their metal detectors looking for ancient Roman loot.
Ooh,
So one of these
yes.
guys
I think
really
we've done a couple
struck
of
it
good
out.
news stories about, hey, I found a Roman cache in the backyard of this guy's house.
Anyway, here's the story, and here we go. I'll give you a good long time, so go wash your clothes. BBC.com, Roman coins found by detectorists could be Wales' biggest find. This happened 5 days ago. 15,000 Roman coins. And look at this guy. I got to show you these pictures somewhere, man. Just go to BBC.com. They'll show you the pictures. Happy. I don't know, man. That's got to be worth a couple million. A metal detectorist has discovered up to 15,000 Roman coins, which could be the biggest hoard ever discovered in Wales. David Moss, 36, from Cheshire, was left in disbelief. He said he had goosebumps.
Bless me.
Oh, he had goosebumps. He bumped into a goose while he was looking for these coins. You hear that?
He's like, there's no
After
way I
being-
found these really expensive coins.
This is what he's doing, right? This is like, he probably dreamed about this. He probably still pinching himself, right? Holy shit. He usually finds a nickel here, whatever British money, a pence here, a shilling there. I don't think they have shillings anymore, do they? But I don't even know. I got a lot of money. I just don't know what their currency dated names for him are. But the epic find left him fearing they could be stolen, so he slept with them in his car for 3 days before taking them to experts. Slept in his car with the coins. Oh yeah, keep an eye on that shit. That's millions of dollars, I'm thinking. The coins are now in the safe hands of the National Museum Cardiff, where it'll be analyzed. While not wanting to give specific details of where he found them, David described the area as virtually untouched area of North Wales. You're talking from the times of the Druids and the Vikings right through the Romans, he said. I just find it fascinating. It's an area I'll be interested in for the rest of my life. There have been several coin hoards found over the years, usually deliberately buried and never recovered, typically during periods of turmoil or as a religious offering to the gods. They're always saying that about that religious offering to the gods. It was like, what do gods need currency for exactly? Oh, I ran out of money at the casino. I need some money. Go make an offering to me. Why do gods need money? Such a confusing world. More than 50,000 Roman coins were found in a field in Somerset, England in 2010 with a total value of £320,500. In Wales, nearly 6,000 coins were found in two ports of field in Sully Vale and Glamorgan by a resident in 2008. National Museum Cardiff said the largest hoard its team is aware of is one of 10,000 coins near Chepstow in the 1990s. Well, 50,000 sounds like more. David has been metal detecting for nearly a decade. So far, he's uncovered over 2,700 Roman coins. But he believes the two pots he discovered in August with his friend Ian contained between 10,000 and 15,000 coins. A rainbow appeared minutes before the signal was found, he said. I couldn't believe it. The pair then spent 6.5 hours excavating the coins. David notified the landowner and gave him a plastic box to keep them in. He then drove back to his home in Chester and ended up sleeping with them in his car. I just didn't want to leave it out of my sight, he said. After a few restless nights, he made a 4-hour drive to Cardiff, where he left the coins with experts. Anthony Hale, 64, is the Chamber of South Wales and Monmouthshire Numismatic Society, which he believes the haul could be the biggest discovery in Wales. Anthony believes the haul could have belonged to a member of the Roman army or multiple members who buried the coins for safekeeping. That seems more likely about this offering the gods nonsense. I don't understand that. I would have thought it was a person's wealth that could be in a section of the army, I would have thought that it was a person's wealth that could be in a section of the army. Oh, that's what he said. Anthony said the museum in Cardiff will date when the coins were buried. They'll clean them, and then since it's such a large hoard, they will apply to the British Museum to see if they can help them. Then he'll go to
not the British Museum.
Oh yeah, British Museum. It's our stuff. Yeah, that was the hoard of Nodius Maximus. Then they'll go to the board and make the finder an offer. Okay, so the British Museum, they'll clean them. This is what the Cardiff Museum's doing. They'll clean them, and since it's such a large hoard, they'll apply to the British Museum to see if they can keep them. Why does Cardiff gotta go, oh, please, British Museum, let us keep them? And make them a finder an offer. They'll make him an offer. He'll get half the money, and the landowner will get the other half. That's only fair. I mean, the landowner actually, you know what the hell is the landowner, right? He just bought some land. You didn't know that treasure was there? 10% you get. Why was he get half? Should have found it yourself, man. That's what I say. Anyway, they're just being fair. I'm being greedy. That's not nice. I shouldn't be greedy like that. A spokesman for Cardiff Museum said the assessment should be completed next year. They're not guessing how much it's worth. That's sad. I want some speculation. Treasure has Treasure has a variety of definitions, including an object at least 300 years old when found, which is not a coin but has metallic content of which is at least 10% by weight is precious metal. It is also treasure when if found. It is one of at least two coins in the same find which are at least 300 years old at the time and have that percentage of precious metal. Boy, there's a lot of requirements for these little narrow definitions. In Wales, if you find treasure, it must be reported to a finds liaison officer within 14 days of the finding or 14 days of realizing an item might be a treasure, even if you haven't had it for longer. How do they measure when you've realized it? When did you realize this? Oh, 7 minutes ago, right before I walked in your office. How the hell are they going to prove that? When you realized it. Get out of here. Only items officially defined as treasure need to be reported. You know what I do? I get a spectrometer. I go through every one of them, find all the precious metal, melt them down, right? Because they're going to be in antiquity forever in some museum. Melt them down. The rest of the stuff's probably just copper and nickel or whatever they can mine at the time. Just keep the silver and gold, the stuff that's easy to melt. I would do that, and then turn the rest of that shit in and say, "Here's all my treasure." Because
what you learned from the coins.
There's been so many coins found, though. I'm just saying they're all like, oh yeah, that's exactly the same thing as that. I've got 4 Roman coins. I got them. Where do I got them? I got 4 of them right here, from 300
I guess
AD.
That's true. If there's a abundance
right?
of us, you might just sell the resources.
But they're not whole coins because back then they would break them in half, right? Yeah. And the denomination didn't even matter. It was just a coin. I'll take 3 of those. I'll take 4 bits. Like bits used to be an actual currency, right? It used to be an actual currency. Anyway, let's get back to the story. Only items officially defined as treasure need to be reported, and there is a fine for up to 3 months in prison for not reporting. There are different rules for Scotland and Northern Ireland. After a find is reported, you will be contacted by either a finds liaison officer or museum curator to talk about how and where you made the find. You'll be given a receipt. I'm just telling you, why do you got to go through this official shit for stuff you found your hard work? I'm just saying. And what are they going to do with them? Like I said, if there's precious metals in them, some rich guy is going to get them, and he's going to melt them down. Why don't you melt them down? That's what I'm saying. You think the museum's going to sit there and go, inventory this coin. Oh, that one fell. Okay, another one. Oh, that one fell too. You know? All day long. Stealing coin. Nobody's honest. Everybody's honest, right? Everybody's honest.
Everybody's honest
when they're being watched. Right. Everybody's honest when they're being watched. The finds liaison officer or museum curator will then write a report on the find. Museums can express an interest if it might be treasure. The coroner will then hold an inquest. You may be invited to inquest along. The guy hunting the treasure is at fault for not examining what he had himself and not knowing what he was looking for, right? Because to me, I'd become a coin expert. The internet does exist. You can become a coin expert pretty fast. Yeah. So there's a bunch of states and things way to make claims. The 50-year-old, let's talk about Davies for a minute. Archaeologists and volunteers participating in archaeological excavation are not eligible for a share in the rewards. If you do find ancient coins, avoid any cleanings as you could damage them. I will not clean. You don't have to clean them to find out. Buy yourself a spectrometer. If you think you're going to find worth a couple of $1 million, spectrometer, you just point a light at it. It tells you the actual content of the coin. It might cost you a couple grand, but buy it, man. You could have a loot. If you... It may be, and it's first of all, if you're a metal detectorist, why don't you at least know somebody with a spectrometer, right? Can I borrow your spectrometer? I found a coin. One coin, right? That's all you gotta tell them. I'm just saying, these people are just too not looking for, they're being so honest to the fault of, we'll turn this over to the British royal family, is what they're doing, right? Because the British royal family can do whatever they want to.
Not be real Welsh people either. Fake Welsh people.
Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, the people in Wales got to say permission from London. That's a freaking hilarious, right? So anyway, let's finish this off. Let's do this again. It may be the pinnacle for any metal detectors to find some treasure, but it does not automatically belong to them. I'm like, it belongs to me until I say it don't belong to me. That's the way I see it. Like I just said.
Yeah.
Gold and silver have the lowest melting temperature. Gold is one of the lowest melting temperatures. They're easy to melt down. Freaking, let's go, folks. I mean, seriously, you think rich people don't do this? The 56-year-old concealed the finding of the treasure and then sold it. He was fined in jail. This was
wow.
This is what Leighton Davis.
I hate English people.
Wait. Let's talk about this. This is a different guy. This is what Leighton Davies of Pontypridd, Rhondda, Crinoff, Taff found after he uncovered 3 million pounds worth of Viking coins in a field in Hereford, which is named after a cow. So you got a town named after a cow, Hereford. The 56-year-old concealed the finding of the treasure. He then sold it. He was fined and jailed. Davies did not inform a farmer or own the field and instead contacted dealers to find out the worth of the items, and a month later contacted the National Museum of Wales, but only declared 1 coin and 3 items of jewelry. He probably just told too many people. How did he get found out unless he told somebody? Because there's no way. It's like, hey, farmer, I found all these coins. There's 8 of them there. All right.
He wasn't getting arrested for. He was being arrested for. He was lying for lying. But there's probably an actual legal term for that.
He got caught.
Yeah.
He got caught because he sold it. That's what. You don't sell this, jackass. What you do is you contact the museum after you've gone through all the gold and silver. If there's any gold and silver in there, I went through my spectrometer there. No gold and silver. A lot of copper, a lot of tin. Have a nice day. Bye. And then they leave. And then it's over. What the fuck you selling it for? You can melt it down and make a chain. Look at my gold chain. These people are just not criminally minded. Anyway, that's my. Maybe
Roger confirmed a criminal.
I think too much like a mobster. Yeah, I was just talking about money laundering earlier.
That's
because
true.
PayPal.
Well, there's a lot of people who don't know what money laundering is. Like, you'll see these quick rich quick schemes on TikTok, and then people will be like, guys, that's money laundering. You're talking about money laundering. That what you're talking about is illegal. There's a look how fast I got rich. Yeah, because you're doing a crime. It's a reason it's illegal.
If I steal a bunch of gold, right? It's ingots within an hour, okay? All of it. And the silver. And who's getting those ingots? People are going to buy it for pennies on the dollar and sell it or whatever in the black market or whatever. I don't care who buys it. They're giving me money for something I didn't pay for. This is the whole point. So gold and silver being valuable and easy to melt down. Why would you turn those coins over to a museum and wait for some guy to steal them and do the same exact thing? Because that's what's going to happen. So, I'm just saying.
Well, famously, of course, who's a famous Welshman is Blackbeard, a pirate. So, you know, he'd be pretty pissed off because he'd rum out of treasure.
Oh, wait the hell, damn rim shot and everything. I'm sleeping today. You got to repeat that one for the rim shot. Repeat the
Blackbeard, a famous Welsh pirate. What he would say about this is that he'd rum out of treasure. There you go.
That was a little slow. Probably a time delay. Oh, we got a cheer. Hold on, crowd there.
You gotta give me the groan. You always have to give me the groan for the puns because everyone's like, ah.
God damn it. Okay. Homer.
I've tried to go on a hunt for treasure, but I can't seem to find my sense of direction. Guess I'm just a lost cause.
Oh, damn. I didn't know you had another one. Jesus. Hold on a second here. Man. I close everything and then you...
I just keep that stuff open for this kind of thing.
I know. I didn't know you had a second joke. That was one story, you know? That's it.
You have another story? No, you don't have another story. Okay, my story.
No, I'm one story Willie. Yeah.
Okay, let's roll the segue wheel for your story. My good news, which is about Norway. We're re-rolling because reminds me of a song again. What the heck?
Rolling.
Let's see if it rolls bad pun now. This just rolls the same two things over and over again. Associate. Okay, associate the story with something else. If whatever it reminds you of.
Okay.
It could be It could be a song too. This is coming out of, well, I already said Norway. This is by, I think it's just by France 24. Europe's top human rights court ruled today that Norway did not violate its climate obligations by granting Arctic oil and gas exploration licenses in 2016. So they let people go to the Arctic and look for gas and oil. But Europe was arguing, hey, that's not a climate obligation if you're looking for more ways to increase your gas and oil reserves. It was a setback for climate activists after a landmark ruling last year against Switzerland for failing to take sufficient action on climate change. We're suing the entire country of Switzerland for not caring about climate change. The European Court of Human Rights said that Norway did not breach its climate obligations when it awarded Arctic oil and gas exploration licenses. It was a blow to climate activists after the Strasbourg court last year issued a historic first ruling condemning a state for its lack of action. In the most recent case, 6 Norwegian activists and local branches of environmental NGOs Greenpeace and Young Friends of the Earth approached the court in France, Strasbourg, after repeatedly losing in national courts. So they took it to Norway first, but they weren't winning in Norway. The groups say that before awarding the licenses, Norwegian authorities did not conduct an environmental impact assessment of the potential impacts of petroleum extraction on Norway's obligations to mitigate climate change. As Western Europe's largest oil and gas producer, they hold a lot of sway. I can tell you, I feel like Norway gets away with a lot of stuff because they're our largest oil and gas producer. Norway is a frequent legal target of climate activists as well because of this. But the European Courts of Human Rights found that there had been no violation of Article 8 of the European Convention of Human Rights, which guarantees the right to respect for private and family life. In its ruling, it noted initial shortcomings in the environmental impact assessment decision-making process. So as in they didn't do all of their research into how much it will affect people, but they said they were remedied within enough time not to affect that right. Norway's Energy Minister Terje Aslan said that the ruling was positive. The court clearly finds that we are not breaching human rights, he told AFP in an email. In 2016, the Norwegian Energy Minister granted 10 exploration licenses in the Barents Sea to 13 companies. So this is people are going to go out to the Arctic, drill a bunch, and see if they can find anything, including national champion Statoil, now known as Equinor, as well as U.S. companies Chevron and ConocoPhillips, and Russia's Lukoil. Relying at the time on the Paris Agreement, which aims to limit global warming to less than 2°C above pre-industrial levels, 1850 to 1900s. NGOs appealed to the national courts, arguing the attribution of the licenses was contrary to the articles in the Constitution guaranteeing the right to a healthy environment. Hey, if you can't do that! Norway Supreme Court ruled in 21 that the award of the permits did not represent a real and immediate danger to life. Yeah. As an environmentalist, I have to agree with them here. The problem is when you start making cases against things that aren't cases, you unlegitimize the entire movement, right? Like PETA. Nobody takes PETA seriously because they're always attacking people for things that are just not the point, right?
Right.
It's not the point. If you're supposed to be protecting animal lives, why are you attacking people? Because Pink Floyd named one of their albums after pigs. They hate animals. Boycott Pink Floyd. I'm like, what? What are you thinking of, PETA? How is that helpful to any animal anywhere? I need to move my dish. I keep on hitting my dish with my finger.
But don't forget, at the end the sheep rise up.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The licenses were eventually all returned after no exploitable reserves were found. See, it's like nothing even happened. They didn't even find any oil. In the ruling, the ECHR found that the impact assessment during the processes leading to the 2016 decision had not been fully comprehensive, and the assessment of the activity's climate impacts had been deferred. But it said there was no indication that deferring such an assessment had breached the rights of the convention. Sigrid Hodevik Losengard, Vice President of Young Friends of Earth Norway, one of the plaintiffs, welcomed the ruling as a step in the right direction. She said she was happy the court had indicated that a state has to evaluate global emission relation to combustion of hybrid carbons before approving a new oil field. As in, hey, will we blow up the planet more if we create a new oil field? Oh, we will! I guess we can't make one then. This will now have significant consequences how oil activities are managed in Norway, she added. So the environmentalists still win in their eyes. The ruling against Switzerland last year, condemning it for the lack of action on climate change, found that the Swiss did violate Article 8. The Swiss Association of Elders for Climate Protection, 2,500 women aged 73 on average, had complained about the failings of the Swiss authorities in terms of climate protection that could seriously harm their health and also their children's health. The court found that were some critical loissonné. I don't even know what that word means. I've never seen that word in my life.
Yeah.
Loissonné. Laquane, an empty space or missing part. Okay, so there was missing information, missing part in their national greenhouse gas emission regulations. Yeah, so there were some critical missing regulations for greenhouse gas emissions in the Swiss government. In a milestone but not non-binding ruling, the International Court of Justice ruled in July that climate change was an urgent and existential threat, and that countries had to legal duty to prevent harm from their planet from pollution. So, but like it said, non-binding. So, shame on you, Switzerland! Shame! Get the bell. Shame! That's it. That's really all. Switzerland's not part of the EU, so they really don't have any binding on the Switzerland. Switzerland would have to join the EU first, which they're not part of. So there's my story. Good news. We've made some environmental pressure, I want to say. It's not like they didn't want to win. They just wanted to indicate, like, countries need to be held accountable, because what's the point of having laws or rules if you're not going to hold anyone accountable for them? Just don't have them, right? So that's what these environmentalists were focusing on, making sure that everyone's accountable, and even if they don't win the court, they know that the court is making them accountable.
Yeah, remember story a few weeks ago, we history event where Greenpeace ship was bombed by the French frogmen, the French military tried to take out Greenpeace, right? Like, wow. They considered them a terrorist organization. Right? That's crazy, isn't it? And
they were basically telling oil companies you're not allowed to make money anymore. Terrorists!
They were hijacking, they were pirating at sea or something because they were hijacking oil tankers or whatever. Anyway, it's a good thing we acquiesce to oil companies all the time and give them all this power because, oh boy, the price of oil really went down. The price of gas really... Oh, hey, the price of gas didn't go down, did it? No. Price of oil goes down, but the price of gas stays high. What? Oh,
that's weird.
What is that?
How does that work?
I don't know. Somebody's getting some money somewhere in between somewhere. Oh, it's oil companies. That's right. They buy it cheap and the price stays the same. Nothing ever goes down. Isn't that interesting? It never goes down anymore. It used to go down, like with the market. Not anymore. Stays high every damn time. Anyway, that's my sarcasm and my association with fuck oil companies.
The Greenpeace
for them and
terrorism.
Okay. But they're
in France.
Yeah, Green. They're the terrorists. Okay, whatever.
I'm glad we've lessened the word terrorist. Now just everyone's a terrorist now. Really useful.
Us bombing Iraq. Us bombing Iraq who didn't attack us. It was not terrorism, by the way. People in their homes just sitting there peacefully and a bomb goes off. That's not terrorism. Nothing terrorism about that.
Okay, let's roll our next segment. Well, it's supposed to be Positives Tuesday, but you know.
I wandered down the road somewhere. I'm down the path. Somebody call me back. All right.
I will write you a limerick for your story.
All right, limerick. Hey, limerick. We're gonna talk first. You're gonna have to have two limericks. First, we're gonna talk about a boat being sunk for some reason. What? They're sinking a boat, a giant boat for that matter. And you can watch it. This is from AL.com, which is short for Alabama, which leads me to believe this is happening in Mobile Bay. I just a guess. Alabama. Heather Gahn has the story. How to watch the live sinking of a famed ocean liner set to become the world's largest reef. That's right. Reef. Get your reefers ready. Those interested in watching famed Cold War carrier vessel, the SS United States, take her final plunge into the sea will have multiple digital options. The Conservancy Group of the ship announced on a Facebook post on Tuesday that both a live stream and a professional documentary will be produced covering the tow out and the reefing of the vessel. Reefing of the vessel. Oh yeah, that works. At a board meeting last week, Okaloosa County, the ship's new owners, authorized 50% advance payment to WMB Productions and Gannett Creative House, according to the Post. The firms will provide comprehensive video documentation of the ship's deployment, including onboard and aerial drone footage of the tow out from Mobile, Alabama. Underwater footage capturing the vessel's final placement on the reef site, a professional documentary. Yes, don't want to leave out the word professionally edited, to be completed within 2 weeks of the event. So none of that amateur bullshit for these guys. Well, the exact date and reefing location that have not yet been released. Both will be announced closer to the deployment for operational and safety reasons to ensure no incidents occurred. Yeah, we ain't going to announce when because all the looky-loos, right? I want to get close to this, and then somebody's boat capsizes, and 12 people drown in their yacht.
Cater to the stupid.
Here's a shout out to all you billionaires. Great place to put your yacht, right next to this boat going down. I think it's a great idea. Think of the pictures you take. After months of delays, the ship arrived in Mobile early March, where contractors have started the process and ensuring it's safe for ocean life. Safe for ocean life. We were talking about rust earlier. This thing's gonna rust. It's gonna rust really well. Because the water at the bottom is even saltier than the water at the top. Not a lot of oxygen, but there's definitely a lot of salt. Where contractors have started the process of ensuring it's safe for ocean life and poking holes in its hull to make sure it's upright in the bottom of the Gulf. I mean, the oxygen is contained in the water, of course. The process has been predicted to take a year to complete, after which the ship will take its final journey to the location of 20 miles south of the Florida Panhandle region of Destin, Fort Walton Beach area. I can't speak all of this. The previous comments from the Okaloosa County Commissioner. Originally designed as a top secret convertible troop carrier during the Cold War 1951, the SS United States has transported presidents, famous actors, heads of state, tourists, and members of the armed forces and immigrants before he retired in 1969. Notable passengers included 4 U.S. presidents: Harry Truman, Dwight Eisenhower, John Kennedy, and the young Bill Clinton, Judy Garland, Marilyn Monroe, and John Wayne. Heather Gann is breaking... Oh, we're getting on to her biography because that was the end of the article. Delineate where the article stops here.
I guess.
Moved on to the next paragraph. You want to hear about Heather Gann? Let's talk about her for a minute. Heather Gann is a breaking news in Birmingham Metro reporter for AL.com. Prior to her role in breaking news, Gann covered any issues that directly impacted Birmingham metro area residents for the Birmingham ... So if I wanted to know more about her, I'd have to go click on some link that's not on here. So there's your story. Let's have a limerick. I'll get the
I don't have a
soundboard
limerick
ready.
because it just ended suddenly.
All right, we'll move on to the next one.
Yeah, move on to the next
have time. We're going to talk about Jeff Bridges. You probably know Jeff Bridges from a wide variety of roles. Iron Man for one. Another one is Tron. You might know him for him. But my favorite role, a lot of people's favorite role, is the dude in The Big Lebowski. So we're going to talk about Jeff Bridges in cameras. Petapixel.com has a story from Jeremy Gray. Jeff Bridges' Wide Lux revival has reached prototype stage and is beautiful. It's beautiful. And there's a photograph of this camera. Just over a year ago, Oscar-winning actor and talented photographer Jeff Bridges announced that he had co-founded a new camera company, Silver Bridges, to bring back his beloved Wide Lux camera as the Wide Lux X. The X is at the end, like it's capitalized at the end. Like there's 2 X's at the end and 1 is capitalized. That's how I can describe the word they just presented to me. So he has now unveiled the first prototype, the Wide Lux prototype 001. Holding a one-of-kind camera prototype in your hand is always going to be exciting, writes Shards Schuler of Silver Grain Classics, but when some of the blood, sweat, and tears that went into it are your own, it feels nothing short of extraordinary. Schuler, alongside Silver Grain Classics editor-in-chief Marwan El Mozayan, Jeff Bridges, and Bridges' wife, acclaimed photographer Susan Bridges, nee Gaston, that's her maiden name, teamed up to form Silver Bridges, a portmanteau of Silver Grain Classics and the Bridges family. Silver Bridges' sole mission, at least for now, is reviving the weird and wonderful Wide Lux panoramic film camera. Yeah, panoramic. You can do that on your phone, but the old analog stuff, man, that stuff creates a real sharp image. The prototype camera was unveiled last Friday at the International Association for Panoramic Photography Convention in Minnesota via a video, which should be published online in full in the future. In the video, Jeff and Susan Bridges, here's a picture of them here. She's about a foot in him. That's all I can say about that. They kind of look like they're, you know how people tend to look like each other after a while? Yeah.
No, but okay.
Introduce them. Well, maybe they both tend to look like they're...
I knew about it. I don't know about it, but I trust you. Sure, it happens.
Okay. Well, let's just suppose you know that. In the video, Jeff and Susan Bridges introduced themselves and discussed the project and prototype before handing over to Schuler and El Mozayan. Jeff Bridges has used the personal Wide Lux camera, which is made on many of his film sets over the years, capturing remarkable behind-the-scenes photos. I've seen some of those; they're really cool. With significant artistic and cultural value. Unfortunately, the Wide Lux factory burned down 20 years ago. That sucks. Halting the release of new cameras and substantially disrupting possible repairs for existing models. Because again, you have your spare parts. It went up too. 20 years ago, the Wilux factory burned down, so we decided that rather than letting our favorite camera die, we'd bring her back to life, Jeff and Susan Bridges say. We're keeping it old school. It's a film camera handmade in Germany, built to last generations. Providing jobs to the Germans. I don't think it really matters who makes it. Anyway, based on the prototype. Where are you getting that from?
Where do you get that idea from?
They said, yeah, it's a film camera. It's handmade in Germany. That's where the camera's made. It's handmade in Germany. If you can get film developed, that's another thing. Getting that film developed must be tricky, right? Based on the prototype, which looks incredible, the team has a robust product that honors the spirit of the original Panon wide lux camera. And there's a picture of the new model, I do believe there. There will be many small improvements, but its DNA is still wide lux F8. Charles Schuler and Marwan El Mozayan say, they're also co-investors. We see ourselves as a bridge between the history of photography. It's about the art and craft of camera manufacturing and about giving a new generation of film photographers the tools to create with. Japan Camera Hunter chatted about the project with Schuler and El Mozayan, and the two expressed that they are staying as close to the original camera as possible. They reverse engineered the wide lux, as Japan Camera Hunter writes, and they had to make a new versions of the old parts since there are no existing piles to pull from.
No,
yeah, make me say a lot of P's. That's not. Yeah. Who writes the parts piles to pull from? Who writes that in a sentence? Come on, man. They are long gone is a significant challenge, but as the prototype shows, the team is well positioned to pull off something. They're just a lover of
really alliteration
special.
Headlines, man. They love our alliteration headline segments. So
that's your story. I hope you got at least half.
I've got two limericks for you.
Okay.
First limerick. Get your soundboard ready so you can applaud me or something. No pressure.
Okay.
There once was a ship, old and rusty, with dreams of adventure, all dusty. They planned to ignite, to give it a fright, but only the wealthy were gutsy. As in, the wealthy, like you said, park your yachts right next to it, please.
You're supposing that those are going to take me. I hope they do. It's, hey, look out there. There's a boat that's going to sink. Take your yacht out there. It's a great picture. And maybe some whales will show up too.
My next limerick. In a quest for a view that's divine, Jeff Bridges took quite a design. With the lens set to wide, all the landscape could glide in a group where the vistas align. Panoramic photography. Bringing that old stuff back.
Wait.
It wasn't that funny.
It's funny. Nice. Okay, so one more spin of the wheel.
Well, not two more. I have two culture stories here, but they're short.
Yeah, but you're spinning the wheel once.
Check if you can access the video I sent you at the beginning of the show.
On Facebook?
Yeah, I sent you a link. It's on. I just uploaded it to our YouTube channel. All right, let's roll that wheel while you're doing that. It's segue wheel time. I'll give you a bad pun. A bad pun about missing paintings and playing the piano. First culture segment, culture story is about a lost Picasso painting has been discovered in Madrid due to an exhibition transfer confusion. This is by Jesus Maturana and Tokunubo Salako on Euronews Culture. Heard that one about the Picasso painting meant to be moved from Madrid, but it didn't make it to the removal lorry? Well, Spanish police have now found still life with guitar, which was reported to have disappeared earlier this month ahead of its display at the Granada exhibition. Art market thefts are talk of the town these days following the notorious heist of the Louvre Museum. But Spanish police appear to have solved a case that left detectives scratching their heads for weeks. Earlier this month, a Picasso painting was reported missing from a Madrid storeroom, from where it was meant to be taken to Granada for an exhibition at the Centro Cultural Calle Granada. Still Life with a Guitar, a small framed gouache from 1919, was part of 56 other works destined for display after leaving its depot in the capital on the 25th of September. The transport operation was captured by video surveillance. The entire consignment was delivered just over a week later. However, detectives now say, as the packaging was not properly numbered, it was impossible to carry out an exhaustive check without unpacking all of them. Calle Granada Fundación explained that specific checks were carried out and the consignment notes were signed, with the complete unpacking pending until the 6th of October, the date scheduled for the inauguration. It was precisely on that day that the absence of the Picasso work was detected. A complaint was subsequently lodged with the National Police on the 10th of October. So these were delivered, or they were packaged on the 25th, but they weren't properly opened until the 6th of October, which is when they noticed that it was missing. The National Police launched an extensive search and issued missing alerts for the painting on Interpol's international database of stolen or missing objects, which contained descriptions and images of more than 57,000 items that are missing. When the hunt failed to turn up any significant clues, investigators tasked with examining the delivery load found discrepancies within the packaging numbers, which led them back to Madrid and the missing work. It was in the warehouse the whole time. Forensic police officers inspected the depot and finally confirmed that it was Still Life with Guitar. The main police hypothesis for now is that the painting, valued at 600,000 euros, may not have made it on the transport lorry in the first place. That was a bit more of a wacky news, but also it's good news, right? Hey, have you tried looking where you came from? Maybe you left it where you had it. No, we looked, it wasn't there.
We give up. Let's look places it's never been. Let's look there.
I mean, it reminds me of like things like your parents or your mom would always say, right? Like, Mom, I can't find the mustard. If I look in that refrigerator and it's exactly where it's supposed to be.
I did not know. Here's your pun. I did not know that Picasso was a guitar player. But apparently, he Picasso good. There's your bad pun.
Oh my god.
It was called the guitar. I'm saying, the pun fits.
It was the accent that got me. Picasso, like that's not Spanish, or that's more of Italian.
Italian, Spanish, Mediterranean.
My laughing muscles on my face hurt because I laughed so hard.
Mm-hmm.
Without making the sound of laughing, I just grinned.
Don't get a face hernia. A face hernia is the worst, man. One more or no?
Yes, I have another story because that one was really short.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to cover a virtuoso's victory. American pianist Eric Liu triumphed as the winner of the Chopin competition. If anybody doesn't know what any of that means, Chopin is a famous composer and also famous pianist that makes a lot of piano pieces. And, they have a competition named after him every year, probably in Warsaw. And he won, and he's very happy. This is also from why can't I say his name? Tokunbo Salako in Euronews, Poland. American classical pianist Eric Liu is celebrating a dream come true after winning the International Chopin competition with a stunning performance in Warsaw. It's easy to understand why the 27-year-old Eric Liu held his victory at Poland's international competition. The event, which often described in classical circles as the Olympics of piano playing, takes place once every 5 years. Many are called, but only a very few select, are chosen. Oh, that's very similar to the Olympics, right? Not only do you have to be good at piano, it's not a free competition. You can't just show up and be like, all right, I will play some music. No, you have to be like hey, we've seen that you're being really good on the piano. You wanna compete in the competition in Warsaw? Oh yeah, sure. Oh my God, I never thought I'd be chosen. Auditions for this, the 19th edition, began a little over 2 weeks ago when 11 of the highest rated pianists lined up for the finals. Accompanied by the Warsaw Philharmonic, I always say philanthropic, the Warsaw Philharmonic Orchestra, conducted by Andrzej Boryko. Each of them performed one of the 2 piano concertos, Polonaise Fantasy, Op. 61. I don't remember what OP stands for. Originally, more than 640 young artists from all over the world applied to compete, but only, 19 were chosen for the finals. The largest group of players were from China, followed by Poland and Japan. Of course, they have to celebrate their famous composer, Polish people. Yeah, I have to win the famous Polish competition. When the music stopped, the 17-member jury, chaired by Garrick Olsen, awarded the gold medal to Lou and a check of 60,000 euros. Wow, woohoo! For somebody who plays music, that's a lot of money because you do mostly freelance gig work. Oh, we need a pianist for the concert on Tuesday. Oh, I'll go there, blah blah blah. Right? But this is like, hey, I don't have to work for a year, maybe. Or I have to work less this year. That's a lot of money. The silver medal was awarded to Canada's Kevin Chen, and bronze went to Zitong Wang of China. Oh, Canada's, I said Canada, okay. Local favorite Peter Alex Wicks finished joint 5th with Vincent Ong of Malaysia. Oh, darn. No Polish victory this time. This is a dream come true. I am very touched, said Lou, after the verdict was announced. I would also like to thank all of Chopin lovers around the world, added the laureate. Chopin. Special prizes were also presented to several performers. The best performance of Mazurkas award went to Yehuda Prokopowicz from Poland, while the prize for the best performance of a ballad went to Adam Kaldunski. China's Tianyao Liu took home the special prize for the best performance of a concerto. So, they didn't win the big money, but they did win recognition. So congratulations on everybody at the competition and to Eric Liu for winning. That will be our mic drop, by the way. And get some tissues because you might cry. I cried watching it. I'm crying thinking about it. Anyways, those are my stories. I must hold back the tears.
Okay. Here's your pun. Why didn't the baker win the piano virtuoso competition?
Something about baker's dozens? Sorry?
Nope. Because all he could do was Chopin. Which is the proper pronunciation. I was like all over that. Yeah! I was a kid, my dad was like, that's not Chopin, that's Chopin. Okay, all right. Because he listened to the classicals. Chopin!
If everyone says it, everyone else says it like that. Like, as people who play classical music, they all say it like that, so, yeah.
Are they really? That's crazy. Americans pronounce it Chopin.
That's our culture news. Let's get ready for our final week of October. But first, let's roll that segue wheel.
Still waiting for this link to show
Come on,
up.
give me a haiku. It's actually going to land on haiku.
Yeah, we got Rocktober today.
Haiku. Oh, it's haiku time.
Wow.
I called it.
Haiku for... All right, so I'm going to get through this story while my Facebook is still loading the chat thing, maybe. I don't know. Computer's slow today. This day in Rocktober history. We've got a site. I'm going to use this guy. They're more concise. They get to the point, right? That other one made me scroll for an hour. Today in 1977, the notorious album by the Sex Pistols, Nevermind the Bollocks, Here's the Sex Pistols, was released in the UK. It was the only studio album that the punk band ever put out. Fans and critics alike generally regarded as an important album in the history of rock music, citing the lasting influence it's had on the subsequent punk musicians, as well as other musical genres that are influenced by those punk rock artists. I gotta increase the font here. Feel like I'm drowning. There you go. Now I can see the words. Also today, let's do this one. This day in 1956, making his sensational second appearance on the Ed Sullivan Show, Elvis Presley sang "Don't Be Cruel," "Love Me Tender," "Hound Dog," and "Love Me," which basically reveals Elvis to be very, very needy. Right? Don't be cruel. Love me tender.
He needs the love, man.
Love me. And his other song is "Hound Dog," right? Hound Dog, he's accusing this girl of sleeping around, right? Or whatever. I don't know what I don't know what he's accusing her about. Either way, he's playing the victim here and totally needy. I think that was one of those things that people liked in those days, was the soft, tender man, right? At least women. I don't know. To me, it's like, man, I remembered Elvis rock and roll songs like Jailhouse Rock and, even Heartbreak Hotel, to me, is a better song than any of those. Those are just happy love songs, Be Nice to Me, right? 1967, after a show, 1957, sorry. 1957, there was a show at the Pan Pacific Auditorium in Los Angeles. Local police told Elvis Presley that he was not allowed to wiggle his hips on stage. The next night, the Los Angeles Vice Squad filmed his entire concert in order to study his performance. That's crazy. Don't wiggle your hips, you seductive little crooner. 1958, Buddy Holly appeared on Dick Clark's American Bandstand, where he lip-synced "It's So Easy," Heartbeat, and it was Holly's last TV appearance, as rock and roll was slowly dying. The Beatles reviving it in 1962, the Beatles played at the Empire in Liverpool, the first gig at Liverpool's Top Theatre. 8 acts were on the bill, including Little Richard, Craig Douglas, Jet Harris, Kenny Lynch, and the Sounds Incorporated. Only one of those I've ever heard of is Little Richard. And that's where Little Richard, significantly, Little Richard's keyboard player was a guy named Billy Preston. And Billy Preston became like the fifth Beatle later in their career. 1964, the first of the 2 nights billed as the Tammy Show Rock Place at the Civic Auditorium in Santa Monica with Smokey Robinson and the Miracles, the Beach Boys, Chuck Berry, Marvin Gaye, the Supremes, and the Rolling Stones. The acronym, Tammy, was used inconsistently in the show publicly to mean both Teenage Awards Music International and Teenage Music International. That's a pretty good bill. Rolling Stones are the British band. They had Supremes, Marvin Gaye, Chuck Berry, Beach Boys, Smokey Robinson. So it was a multicultural rock and roll extravaganza back in the days when that thing was still possible in 1964, believe it or not. Wow. 1967, Diana Ross and the Supremes' greatest hits started a 5-week run at #1. 1977, Queen released their 6th studio album, We Are the World, which features the singles. You know that one. We Will Rock You, and We Are the Champion, and Spread Your Wings, and It's Late. I didn't know Late was a single. Maybe in England it was.
Maybe.
Neil Young released the compilation album Decade. We're talking about Neil Young and the Sex Pistols early because we mentioned Johnny Rotten. So they both come up today in this day in Rocktober. Anyway, Neil Young released the album Decade. It features the singles among 20, 30 songs. Among them, Sugar Mountain and The Needle and the Damage Done. Speaking of Sugar Mountain, in 1978, Nick Gilder went to #1 on the US singles chart with the called Hot Child in the City. And it is exactly what it sounds like. Neil Young getting excited about somebody that looks like they're too young to be a prostitute. So, yeah, that was the #1 hit in 1978. And that's why I says, speaking of Sugar Mountain, somebody's shopping at the candy store. Anyway, 1978, that's shopping at the candy store is another term for being a pedophile, by the way. Anyway, Kiss starred in the 19 TV movie Kiss Meets the Phantom in the Park. Yay. Anyway, there's your day in rock history. Let's get on with this. Hopefully I got a video from you. I think I might have it now. All right. On this day in other history that wasn't involved in music and all that assorted debauchery with Nick Gilder. Nick Gilder, I wonder what he's doing now. Canadian, I believe. I think he was Canadian. He had a couple hit songs and vanished into Bolivian. 1636 on this day, Harvard University, the oldest institute of higher learning in the United States, was founded by Great and General Court of the Massachusetts Bay Colony. That's right. We got a lot of books for learning, and let's all teach people. That was their whole goal.
I love learning.
Let's have smart people instead of stupid people. What a concept. 1726, Anglo-Irish author Jonathan Swift anonymously published travels into several remote nations of the world, later called Gulliver's Travel, a keystone of English literature that helped give birth to the novel form. He anonymously published it. He's probably trying to protect his reputation. No word if he's related to Taylor Swift, but they had the same last name. 1790, Spain, yielding to British demands, signed the convention and resolved the Nootka sound controversy. About time. Now let's do something about that Nootka light. The sound controversy's over. Oh, wait, that's the name of a body of water. Oh, never mind. 1914, American physician and medical researcher Jonas Salk, who developed the first safe, effective vaccine for polio, was born, and we know polio is going to be making a comeback any minute now. 1918, Thomas Masaryk, Edvard Beneš, and other leaders issued a proclamation announcing the formation of an independent Czechoslovakian state. We've got a big, long name for our new country, so deal with it, is what they said. That's exactly what the word-for-word translation says. 1919, the U.S. Congress overrode President Woodrow Wilson's veto and passed the Volstead Act, providing enforcement guidelines for prohibition. Good luck with that, boys and girls. Did not work. In fact, prohibition gave the organized crime syndicates of America a new way to make money. Congratulations, government. And, of course, people started drinking their own poison alcohol. 1955, American entrepreneur and programmer Bill Gates was born. So happy birthday to him. Bill Gates turning a bright young 70 today. Everybody gets old, Bill. Money can't buy you. Well, maybe someday. Let's see. He probably has access
Maybe
to
someday.
If somebody has access to cloning, it's Bill Gates. 1962, Soviet Premier Nikita Khrushchev capitulated, and he catapulted later because they didn't like the way he capitulated. Yeah, well, they fired him. Well, metaphorically, he was catapulted. Anyway, before he was catapulted later in favor of some more, hard-line guy, Soviet Premier Nikita Khrushchev capitulated to U.S. demands to halt delivery of nuclear armed missiles to Cuba, bringing to an end the Cuban Missile Crisis. Yeah, you back down. Aha, you little chicken shit. Yeah, you talked big, didn't you, Nicky? Back down. 1965, the Gateway Arc of St. Louis, Missouri, designed by Finnish-born American architect Euro Saarinen, to commemorate St. Louis's historic role at Gateway West was complete. Gateway Arch is now, this day, 60 years old. Exactly. So, happy birthday to that big old thing you can see for 700 miles that say, my God, there's nothing beyond that but prairie. Holy crap. 1967, American actress Julia Roberts, who's deaf performer she was born. Happy birthday to Julia Roberts. You know what Julia Roberts is? What's the one where she's the hooker that marries the rich guy? One of the things that happens every day. Well, Pretty Woman, there you go. 1971, Great Britain launched Prospero, its first Earth satellite. Oh, you know what's a better Julia Roberts movie is Aaron Brockovich. What's that one? Great Britain launched Prospero, its first Earth satellite, 1971. Playing catch up with everybody else. Way to go, Great Britain. We can put rockets in space, dadgummit, they said. 2007, Argentine lawyer and politician Christine Fernandez de Kirchner became the first woman elected president of Argentina. See, Mexico's got a woman leader. Argentina's had one. I think everybody's had one except the United States. I think that's basically it. Canada, a long time ago. 2023, American actor Matthew Perry died at the age of 54 of acute effects of ketamine, an anesthetic drug. So, yeah, he got hooked on that stuff, and he's like, I don't want to participate anymore. So
isn't it so nice to just not feel anything?
Yeah, that's apparently he has a lot of internal struggles.
Doing some weird stuff.
My ketamine camera, right?
Yeah, the camera's like, how dare you? I disagree with this line of thought.
If you're hooked on an anesthesia drug, you're having trouble dealing. That's all I got to say. And our featured event is 1886. What happened? The Statue of Liberty is dedicated. Not only is the anniversary of whatever I said before, it's the anniversary of the Statue of Liberty, Gateway Arch, and the Statue of Liberty. Holy crap. Isn't that a hell of a thing? 1886 was the day we took that thing from France. France probably wants it back. You'll need to bring it back for repairs. Huh? On this day in 1886, U.S. President Grover Cleveland, we did have a president named Grover, not the Muppet, officially dedicated the Statue of Liberty, a gift from the people of France to the people of the United States, on Bedloes Island, now called Liberty Island. That's where I went for liberty. Very boring, and there's lots of pigeons that crap on you.
No, and it only looks cool in the X-Men film, really, when they're fighting inside of it.
And it's big and green because of all the copper. Lots of copper. And the old green lady, I guess we'll call her. Jean Locke's birthday today, English philosopher. It's not his birthday. It's his death day, unfortunately. August 29th is his birthday. 1632, he got to be 72. Died in 1704 on this day. In Oates, England. He died in Oates. That's right. Today is the birthday of Jonas Salk, the person who developed the polio vaccine. 1949, Caitlyn Jenner, American athlete, who, when she was an American athlete, was named Bruce Jenner, won the decathlon in 1976, and was on the Wheaties box.
That is called
now
naming,
he's a transgender.
So everyone knows, I think.
But I'm just saying, if you know Caitlyn Jenner is to me, is a fraud because you endorse Trump, and Trump is totally trying to suppress all transgenders, and I don't know why you would endorse
that's
a guy like
a
that.
Completely honest criticism there. Complete shill.
That's what I'm saying.
Caitlyn Jenner, complete shill.
Yeah, exactly.
Throws fellow trans people
Talking
under the
about
bus because she wants to be the special trans person. Look, I'm the only one. I'm the special unicorn.
Anything for a dollar. Anything for a dollar. I shill. Exactly. Is exactly it. That's why I say it's not sincere. It's there for the clicks. It's there for the money. And if you have no principles, you have no morals, which he apparently doesn't.
Why should I care?
Them. I don't care. It's like one of these things. It's like you're famous for being a Catholic. You've used that fame, and you married into a rich family. Good for you, asshole. You know, assholes are assholes. Don't matter what the hell you call yourself. 1955, Bill Gates. We did that. It's Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, president of Iran. So I don't know if he's any good for shit, but he was born in 1956. We already did Julia Roberts and the National Day calendar, and hopefully National Chocolate Day, National Internal Medicine Day. I don't, but maybe lotion. I think all internal medicine is internal, right? And it's also National First Responders Day. So that's everything for today. It should be National Polio Vaccine Day, right? Because it's Jonas Salk's birthday. And I should have a YouTube video loading any second now. Oh. Wait. Yeah, it goes. Are you there?
Are you doing it?
It's so quiet.
Did you get it loaded?
Yeah, it's going.
Okay.
Going. Are you?
Then this
you in day or
is
nothing?
my 4 haikus because for October as well. I wrote you 4 haikus. First one. Funk echoes thunder. Chords clash like a rebel's voice. Never mind the pain.
Whoa. Hold on.
Hello.
Everything's running slow again.
Just doing my haikus here at the end. In harbor she stands, torch held high, a beacon bright, freedom's gift in stone. I guess in bronze, more like.
Oh, nice.
Age like stone, as in, oh yeah, that freedom thing. I remember that. In shadow of thought, Locke's pen ignites reason's flame, brights in mind ablaze.
Ooh.
And our final haiku, wise hands heal the soul. Gentle whispers, strong resolve, life's balance restored. For our internal medicine doctors, those people who go inside your body and figure out what the hell is your body doing in there.
Yeah. Internal medicine sounds just like medicine.
No,
right?
They don't do that. They don't punch your body and tell it to behave. But there you go. These are haikus. This is and also it is still International Disarmament Week. So keep on pressuring people to get rid of their nuclear bombs. They have only one use, and that use is to kill mass amounts of people. Global Media and Information Literacy Week, which is a great thing to learn on this show. We try to explain our stories to the simple-minded folks, so you can understand, hey, guys, it's not a big conspiracy. This is just what's happening, okay? And use that mind.
Yeah, and we're not just clickbait. We're not just going,
your body with it.
We're not gaslighting you with a bunch of, here's something that the news media doesn't, Here's a tweet storm we got to report on.
Every time your camera does that, it reminds me of the video game Myst. You know, the game we used to play on the Sega Saturn?
Right.
With the two sons that are stuck in the books, and they're like, and you can't hear them.
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh no, he's being teleported away to another world. This has been Allison here from the Netherlands, Roger from the East Coast of the U.S. as we finish up another Good Tues News Day and another episode of Before Coffee. We will see you tomorrow for Wacky and Weird Wednesday, in which we'll have all our weird and wacky news for you to experience and be bewildered by. Just, oh God. And hopefully you don't have a seizure from Roger's camera. I will see you guys. We will see you guys. Don't forget to follow us on Twitch. Subscribe to us on YouTube.
Hold on. Let me get my camera working again. And I didn't do my.
You can do that while I'm doing the outro. That's fine. This has been. Don't forget to follow us on Twitch. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Turn on that notification bell so you know when we go live and post a video. And of course, you can support the show because we don't make any money off of this, right? We don't have any membership or ad revenue or any of that. So if you'd like to support the show, check out the Before Coffee supporters here on Patreon. Or you can just give us $1 a month, whatever you like. Here is our tear-jerking, piano-playing...
Not loaded yet. Not loaded yet. Nope. This is I have camera difficulty, so I had to stop what I was doing, and it wasn't loaded yet, so it's still loading. Like, so my camera's running, everything's running slow today. But I just wanted to say those are your mispronunciations, your technical glitches, definitely technical glitches, everything, your haikus, your limericks, everything for today, October 28th. 2025 on Before Chocolate, and hopefully we'll have our mic drop moment in a second as technical glitches overwhelm. The technical glitches. Again, the computer works great one day, doesn't care the next day.
I mean, like I said, on Monday, I didn't have to log into all of my accounts, and then on Tuesday, I have to re-log into all my accounts again. So, are you ready?
I'm now set.
Okay, then here is our piano playing, tear jerking, mic drop moment.
Of course.
This is just at the beginning of his kind of piano accompaniment.
Yeah. I don't know if we're synced up. I've been around 16
I mean,
mark.
he's just playing the piano. There's nothing really to sync up with.
Hey, but mine just loads so slow, and I'm like, what? I had to put my glasses on to see everything.
Look at that technique. This is a
That's a
world-winning competition winner, okay? I cannot do that with my pinkies. As a clarinet player, my pinkies are just useless.
Right? I can do all the things with the hand, right? I can play those notes, but what I can't do is I can't have two hands doing different things. I can't do that. They all got to be doing this. This one can maybe do this. That's about it, right? Maybe, you know.
But you
like
can
that.
see he
But it
just
can't
gets in the zone here because he's just... Look how fast his fingers move. He's doing that thing where his eyes are basically closed while he's playing.
Right. He doesn't have to see the music either. He's like Elton John. You read music.
I think that's part of the competition, actually, is having it in memory. Which is probably why he closes his eyes as well, right? You're trying to re-see the notes in your brain.
He's a certain degree of savant to do that.
Oh yeah, he's a virtuoso. This is
the
definition of virtuoso right here that we're watching.
Right, music in your head is the savant thing. Right?
I mean, I've done this a lot in marching band. You don't use music in marching band, but being able to recall the music and actually apply it at a good quality, right? He's playing it well too. He's not just, here's the notes and they belong here, you know? You can get drowned out in a marching band.
You can tell this Chopin was a pianist and he wrote things for pianos because the strings are just kind of just gliding back and forth. Not really any complication to it at all, right?
Well, the whole show actually does have a very active strings section before this, but this is his first kind of piano. I don't want to say piano solo, but in a way. Because before this, it was like 10 minutes of him just accompanying them and playing piano in the background, and them doing a very loud orchestral movement. But this is the moment where it's like, here's the piano, guys. We brought the piano. It's a 50-minute concert, this whole thing, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he has no chance.
It's not just testing his skill as a piano player, but also his skill in a live concert, right? That he can be there for 50 minutes and play the piece all the way through.
Musicians that are not in it emotionally are always going to risk losing their place, right? Because they're just playing the music. This guy doesn't need to do that because he's already in the music.
He's feeling it, 100%.
Right through it, right? Yeah. There's no chance he's going to look, oh shit, I just played that twice, you know?
I mean, you practice it so much that you know how you want to play it and how it sounds.
If you're that good.
Yeah.
I don't know if practice does you any good. I've seen keyboard players who don't practice at all, right?
I'm obviously not I'm not an expert on the song. I'm not an expert. I can't even play piano. But I'm sure somebody who is could be like, oh, interesting how he did that phrasing, right? Most people play it like this, or he could have played it like this, but he played it like that. He's probably making those decisions right now as we're watching that we're just not aware of because we're not masters of the piece.
I just one time would like to play a grand piano that was in tune. That would just be awesome. Even the fact that I can't play is irrelevant. The fact that I can.
It sounds really cool.
What it sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
You did see there though that he did look at the I forget his name now. The guy with the stick. He looked at him. The conductor. He looked at the conductor, saying, "Okay, I'm going into the last phrase."
This is the last.
This is the part that I was like, "Oh my god!"
Right. I'm about to take my last movement. Anyway. Ooh, crescendo.
And then I start crying. Oh my god.
Be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and notify buttons, and follow our other channels, Toxic Alley, History of Gravy, and Scratchy Old Records.